Yo, what's happening, people? Welcome to the channel. Welcome back to Saeed TV. And this is your weekly debate show. Big talking points today. What an afternoon of football. What a day of football. And yeah, man, we got a lot to talk about. We got in the building Kaz from Never a Foul. Kaz, what are you telling me? You good?
I'm all right, man. Great results. Great results.
Great
I was saying it. I've been saying it. Like, I didn't expect. You know what? I expected that from Spurs. Didn't expect that from Newcastle.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. I don't think nobody did. Couldn't be. It means more pressure for us tomorrow to go and win now, man. No, all that panic. Why?
Yeah.
Even myself, reactionary. Why? You know what I mean?
Absolutely, man. Big up Jacko says we must tomorrow. We must. Absolutely, mate. Corey, what are you telling me, man? It's been a while, man. What are you saying? How you feel today, man? Crazy.
I feel good. I think we all needed this. We all needed this type of therapy. Spursy, Newcastle messing up.
Yeah.
We needed this. You know, a Brighton draw would have been great. A Brighton draw would have been great as well. But
I know, man. But Chelsea, that shit, man. Like, what do you expect, man? Chelsea are rubbish, man. Chelsea are done out here, man. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man. Listen, people, we got a lot to talk about. Hopefully, Danny will be joining us as well. Hopefully, Adam as well will be joining us later on in the debate show. And also, good news as well. Well, I wouldn't say it's good news in general, but for my United's sake, Veltman and Evan Ferguson will miss the trip. De Zerbi has confirmed it as well. That they got injured, man. Evan Ferguson got injured, and Veltman came off as well.
Is it that bad?
Yeah, it was bad, man. I think it was like I think it was a leg injury or ankle or something like one of them two. Anyway,
it's good news, but I don't wish injury on no one.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying to you.
I love Lisandro Martinez, but you know what? It's a fair game, then, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%. It's a big player, but Danny Welbeck, man, Longsight. If you're from Longsight, you know, man, it's still going to be tough. Absolutely, man. It's still going to be tough, man. You know what I'm saying to you? I think we got Danny here now. Danny, how are you, man? Everything good? Looking fresh today?
Yeah, good.
Today. What are you saying? Where are you at today?
I'm good. I'm home, man. Nice day in that, man. I had to close the blinds, but it's a nice day where I am. Very, very nice.
Yeah. Come on, man. Come on. We're just saying, man, crazy day of football today. Crazy. Newcastle getting beat. Obviously, Brighton, we could have hoped for a better result there, but they beat Chelsea. Tottenham, man. As long as Tottenham are Tottenham, this top 4 race should be a smooth sailing, Danny. What are you saying anyway?
Tottenham have been Tottenham all season. Like, do you know what it is? Yeah, I have these Man United fans across the board. It's not just related to results. We love to shit on our own club more than crash it on our rivals. We always act like there's nothing but upside for everybody. Whenever it's Chelsea discussing Tottenham, it's always upside. They get Basuma for 25 mil, we get Casemiro. We're mad. Tottenham did better. How? We got Casemiro, they got Basuma. Man United fans are always it's the Glazers. We need to remember the Glazers are not us. The Glazers are not the scouts. The Glazers are not Ten Hag. They're not the players. Like, I feel like we draw this negativity from the Glazers and just push it onto everything at the football club and then praise all the other football clubs. Tottenham have been like this all season long. Since we beat Newcastle in the cup final, they went on a run of like winning 5 games in a row. I don't know. Top 4 teams don't win 7-8 games in a row. That's why you're a top 4 team.
That's why you're top 4, exactly. Yeah, it's true.
You can't actually put 10 to 12 in a row. They was always going to dip. So I've seen people now worried that Brighton are going to come and get us now. Like, don't get me wrong. I know we're going to get to the injuries and everything else, but I need to remind people, we're in this position playing more football than all of these teams.
Facts.
Got to a cup final, in a position to get to 2 more cup finals. So Newcastle have been playing 1 game a week. They're not clear of us. Tottenham had a little break. They've been knocked out all the other cups. Champions League ceased in December, then they were out of it anyway early. And look where they are. Like, we've been in a marathon, run our players into the ground, and we're in a top 4 race after doing all of this, and we can still win 2 trophies. Listen, injuries are a concern, which I know we'll get to, but let's stop bigging up all these other teams like they're all that, because they're not. That's why they're fighting.
Especially Tottenham, man. I've always said it for me. Thing is, yeah, Man United can be bad, but then the teams around you have to kind of almost find that rhythm in it. And Tottenham, I'll just never be worried about Tottenham. Brighton, Aston Villa. Listen, I think they've got tough games as well, but I think overall, United just need to do their job. It's as simple as that. I know it's all cliche. You have to take care of your own business, but we have to take care of our own business. Man United need to go to Nottingham Forest tomorrow and win. You know what I mean? Villa at home, win. You know? Every game that we
got Nottingham Forest at home, innit? Or is it away?
No,
away tomorrow. Away.
Okay, cool.
Our next 3 fixtures are away from home.
Yeah. No.
It might be 4.
No, Villa's at home. Villa's at home.
No, we play Brighton, then Tottenham. No, it's not Villa.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, it's Tottenham in the middle. Shit.
No, it's Tottenham after the cup game. It's Tottenham after the semi-final.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. I thought it was after.
No.
Damn.
So
I didn't even know that,
at least it's I know it's Forest and we're away to Brighton in the cup. So that's 3 away games for sure.
3 away games, yeah.
For sure.
That's big,
you know what our away record's like, innit? But I'm glad it's starting with Forest, innit? That's a good away game to start with, to be honest.
Yep. 100%, man. Listen, it's a tough game. Kaz, injuries. Does it concern you, by the way, the injuries right now? And in a sense of Martinez being out, Varane being out. I reckon for me, Varane's out for the season. I don't believe he's going to come back.
I think he is coming back. I think it's the same situation. He'll be back in May, I think. But you got to think of life without Varane right now.
That's
because
what I'm saying, yeah,
you just got to consider it. And what fixtures? We're lucky that the only top 6 that we have is Tottenham and Chelsea. 1 at home, 1 at Tottenham. I don't really care about as much because that should be easy food for us regardless. Like a slower pace Kane might help someone like a Maguire out massively. But yeah, man, we're missing out on build-up play now, aren't we? From the back, you know, someone to actually receive the ball, be comfortable, drive when we need to get out of uncomfortable positions. So we have to change the game up a little bit. I think this is where Eriksen has to now is more vital more than ever. So he's gonna have to be the one that has to pick up and do the dictating and go back to what we kind of know. It's going to be difficult to build up. Luke Shaw, I'm
sorry, I can't bite my tongue. I'm sorry. Our build-up play is going to be better. Listen, Varane, world-class defender. He's terrible on the ball. Yeah? Our build-up play is going to be better with Lindelof, Maguire, and Eriksen in there because Varane. I don't care what no one tells me. I see Varane. Teams purposely mark out Lisandro so Varane can play, and everyone ignores what Varane does because he's agile and quick on the ball. He doesn't look ugly.
But I hear it. But Lisandro usually is the guy that feeds the ball into midfield, like with them slick passes. That's the only thing.
He does.
So it's going to be slower transition for us.
But he does that 1 every 10 times. It's not that frequent. It's really not that frequent, my brother. It's really
for me as well. It's going to be a lot more pragmatic again. We're going to have to be because you know what? I don't even want to see Maguire and Lindelof. Who am I even kidding? I want to see a left side. I want to see Luke Shaw there, man. Who's going to cover for left back? Put the low there then.
So I just think it's confident.
I'm with that. I like.
Yeah, I want the low at left back now. Look, yeah, the low started off as a left back. What's it called? One thing, look, there's one thing I can forgive.
What have you ever seen that though?
One thing I can. No, not this season, not yet. But I mean, he's not.
Bobby Schmurder at left back's dancing too much. Yeah, let's keep it a buck.
All right, give him some respect, man.
This is what I'm saying. Yeah, if we're gonna play Sancho without Rashford, Malacia and Sancho don't work. The inside, because Malacia wants to play on the inside, and so does Sancho. It just don't correlate, and it's all congested and awful in that sense. Malacia and maybe Rashford may work a little bit better, but for me, it's just like I'd rather just get someone that wants to do the overlap all day long. And if the low's got Shaw behind him to cover for pace, I'm pretty sure he'd be up for going like a further forward. But Luke Shaw, I need Luke Shaw at the back, man. It's the pace thing. Ollie Watkins soon as well, who's on fire. Who else have you got coming up? West Ham, abundance of pace. I just don't trust Lindelof and Maguire, not for me anyways. I know Luke Shaw isn't your ideal centre-back. He's had good cameos there. I understand that. But I just don't. I can't trust that. I've got too much PTSD.
Yeah,
I can't do it. I can't do it. Someone like Maguire and Lindelof's communication levels are so poor. I don't know what I would rather go with. I can trust Maguire because he's played against West Ham before. I can understand it. He's actually had a couple good games against them. But against an Ollie Watkins, I was there for when we beat them 4-2 in the cup. Watkins had Maguire on toast. Just one sprint.
No, I don't think he plays McTominay. I don't think that happens. You know what I mean? I think Casemiro could be an option, maybe at centre back. But again, I don't think he changes that dynamic in midfield because he likes to have Casemiro.
Well, he done it last time, didn't it?
Dare I say McTominay?
Oh yeah, it was a cup game. Was it a cup game?
Yeah, it was a cup game. Yeah,
it was a cup game. Yeah,
I don't want to see Casemiro's too.
You know what it is?
Too vital.
Look, he's got problems there. But I put this out the other day. Martial, Bruno, Eriksen, Casemiro. If that spine can come together, then I'm less concerned about the PTSD that people are crying about with Maguire and Lindelof or anything else, I'll be honest with you. Like we can't win football matches with these guys. You know, we won more than we lost with these guys, right? Like, come on. Like, people need to... The PTSD is strong, though, I get it. It's strong.
It is strong. That's pretty much it, because obviously we've created a solid partnership with Lisandro and Varane, and we've created that partnership. That's where I feel like for me, anything's a downgrade. It's like when Casemiro's out of the team, it's a downgrade. Like, whether you like it or not, they are a big downgrade to the partnership of Martinez and
that's a fact.
Varane. And this is all it is, and this is a dynamic of how it changes now. It's how teams press us.
I'm just giving them no excuses side, because if they don't perform, I'm going to crash on them. So,
facts.
I'm backing them, innit? Man United players, yeah? Cool. Go get the job done, innit?
Well, it's going to be clear now, because obviously Ten Hag I'm seeing apparently he's looking to offload a lot of players. So these players that are coming in, when we actually need them now, if they're not going to perform, when are you going to perform? That's what you got to ask yourself. You got people like Lindelof, McTominay, even like abundance of players, isn't it? And if they can't perform now, then why shouldn't they be sold come summertime?
But also, I saw that comment. Maguire and Lindelof have been here longer than last season. Yeah. Why are we judging all of these players by their worst seasons? It's because you don't like them, so you're not being objective. Yeah.
Yeah.
Lindelof has been here since Jose days. We've won more games with Lindelof than we have lost. We've won more games with Maguire than we have lost. That is a fact. Yeah, those are facts. If you don't like facts, it's because something else is at the forefront of your mind. And by the way, I haven't seen them with a Casemiro and Eriksen in the field. But I said that spine is more important than what's happening in the base of that team, because we're going to have to score goals and create chances. So Martial, Bruno, Ericsson, Casemiro. Trust me, those are our 4 most important players moving forward. Also, our build-up play, if we go like Cass says, if you go Lindelof and Shaw, or Shaw and Maguire, I'm sorry, our build-up play will be better, whether you like it or not. I promise you, it's going to be better because those 3 centre-backs I just named, including Shaw, they're better on the ball than Varane. So as a collective, we are better. And Dallo at left-back, that's a good shout, Cass. That's a great shout. Because Malacia, he's come back for 3 games, was good in 1, he's been piss poor in the other 2. Those are the facts. And he's been like that all season, by the way. It's just because he cost 13 mil, we let him off. But we keep it his business end of the season. Let's be honest. Do you trust him? Do you trust Malacia?
I just think
it's one of them. Yeah, he's. I think for me, he's had good games and he's had also games where I think shaky. What is with Malacia though is that when his head goes. I don't know if you guys notice here, but he has like a bad 10-minute period, 10, 15-minute period. And then all of a sudden, the game kind of gets back into kind of like, normal rhythm. And then he kind of like adjusted to the game. But he's not one of them where he's a quick learner. He's literally, if his head goes. So all of a sudden, he looks a bit disorientated. So for me, it's going to be interesting to see what he does. Does he bring back Shaw back from injury quickly and plays him in there? Big up to WJ Barrett says, we have hardly had Casemiro, Ericsson and Martial all season. Martin's the loss. We will all be fine for the running. Listen, I hope so, man. I think for me, the key is the up front as well, man, because that's where United need to be clinical. If we do have situation at the back, Kaz, we've got to be clinical up front, and that's where the likes of Martial, if he's fit enough to start, the manager said he's not fit enough just yet, which we'll see. Rashford as well, that dynamic of having players.
I can't wait, man.
What's that, sorry?
I can't wait for him to be back, man. It's just I just don't understand why is it here. We get Marcel back, and then everybody else fails. Their body just fell on them. And it's like, bro, the man must be a curse. I believe he's a curse at this point. You know that I'm saying? It's like he comes back, but then that means another 3 got to go. Which one do you want? Martial gets injured. I guarantee Malacia. I mean, all the injuries. Like, yeah, they're recovered. They're speeding up. They're in good time. Look, Rashford's back for Sevilla. That means he's being rushed back. It's easy, but then again, he might have just had a tweak in his hammy and said, "You know what? I was going to not risk you until the Sunday, but until Brighton, but I think I'm going to put you on the bench against Sevilla just in case." Luke Shaw's back at least. Varane's only out until early May, like the start of May. I think he's got a foot injury. Them foot injuries, they're just sore ones that you can play on them afterwards. They're not that bad. I've had plenty of them. So he should be back. I'm just glad Varane don't have a hammy injury. That's where I'd be more concerned or something like that. But just a foot injury, I can definitely live with that, and you can definitely play on it if need be. But when you deep it, who have we got? We got Brighton, Sevilla. I have to close my eyes because I've got too much pain still thinking about Thursday. We got West Ham away. Yeah, man, we can manage.
No, West Ham,
we can manage. I thought we have West Ham away soon and Bournemouth.
What? We got Bournemouth at home, innit?
No,
Bournemouth away.
We got Bournemouth away. I'm pretty sure we got Bournemouth away.
After Brighton.
Tottenham's at the end. We're going to discount Tottenham because that's a W all written all over.
So what we've got for the running, we've got Sevilla, Nottingham Forest, Sevilla, Brighton, Tottenham, Villa, Brighton again away, West Ham away. Yeah, you're right. Wolves.
When's the date of the Brighton away game?
The
one after Tottenham.
4th of May.
Right, sorry. So you're telling me away to Forest, away to Sevilla, Wembley, and then the spaceship in Tottenham.
Tottenham, yeah.
So we're going to Tottenham. So basically 4 away fixtures.
Difficult, man.
All I would say to people is there's going to be some turbulence in it. That's not going to go perfectly. 4 away trips on the road for 4 games. And you wonder why come on. Listen, the way the season's gone for us, the fixtures, the way they've come, the sequences, it's been nasty.
Would it be a bad thing if we got knocked out against Brighton?
See, this is the thing, though. The thing is, I watched Brighton today, yeah? Brighton are sensational.
Mad football.
They play sexy football. They play mashallah, beautiful.
Don't gas it up too much. You guys did this with Potter. It's good football. Let's not.
Yeah, but now, did you say who they're missing? Who they're missing? McAllister. Did you say they're missing who? McAllister and
no. Ferguson And Veltman.
Veltman's very good. He's under the radar player as well. He's very good in the way they play the ball. But Evan Ferguson, the only thing with that, is bro. Then they've only got really and truly one threat when you deep it is Matoma. Wan-Bissaka's got to be key there. I'm not. Danny Welbeck might be out.
Good, man. Sonny March is right foot, left foot.
I hear it, but bro, I can't lie. When he got Danny Welbeck up front against us, not Chelsea, against us on an day. Because you know what? Have you not realized? Other than the Fulham game, we typically play good when it comes to cup games, regardless. Gone to Spain away both times, played good football, and we didn't. I get it with the Sociedad, we didn't win enough. Even the Barcelona game, went away there. We had Luke Schwartz centre back, you know. And we were missing another player there. I can't remember who it was. And we still played all right. When it comes to Wembley against Newcastle, put Wan-Bissaka on and everything and whatnot. And it was goal time from there. The only thing is can the midfield turn up? That's all I want to hear. Like, can Casemiro have the good game that we know we can have? Can he lock down McAllister? The only issue I have, can we get in and around Caicedo? Then try to go from there. It will be a hard game. It will be such a hard game.
This is what I'm saying. And big up HK. Caicedo and McAllister is going to have a field day.
Why are they going to have a field day?
No, I'm not saying, by the way, I'm not saying individual players will rise up. I'm saying as a collective, as a team, I think you're underplaying what Brighton are doing at the minute.
I'm not underplaying it. You guys are gassing them up. You're overrating them, so I'll underrate them. I'll bring some balance, so we end up in the middle, innit?
I mean, you're doing it just for the sake of it. I feel like you're doing it in this game.
Of course I am, Saeed. That's what I do.
Yeah, but I do wonder, with even going forward for build up itself. You know, with Bruno, is he? I like what I saw with Sabitzer running forward and then Bruno deeper kind of situation. But the only thing with that is Sabitzer can only do it for a certain period, and then Bruno becomes less effective in the game.
Sabitzer in the 10, man. That's
no. He's effective for your first press. All right, cool. See for your first initial presses. Let's call it the first phase of pressing to your second phase. The first, there's no.
Let's call it one phase.
You can call it. When I call it the first phase, all right, cool. Let me nullify it down. Cool. Let's just call it one half of football. Brentford. We played our pressing with Sabitzer going further forward was very good, extremely good. Second half we wavered though. Against just last game against Sevilla, pressing the first game in the first half, very good. Wavered. Why is there? What I want to know is why is Bruno sitting deeper when we're controlling aspects of the game rather than going to kill the game where Bruno could be more effective when there's more tired bodies. This is my problem.
Ten Hag's found something new that he's in love with. It's a bit to being advanced. He tried it with Fred, by the way, in the Betis games. It was hit and miss. Didn't really work. Guys did it with Sabitzer because he wants control in the middle. I get it. And Sabitzer wants to be on the move. It's why Ten Hag don't trust him deep. He's from Leipzig. At Leipzig, everybody moves together. So people will tell you. But he's playing in a team that's always pressing. In Ten Hag's system, you can't have your six who expects everyone to be always pressing. He has to have positional awareness, be disciplined, be a bit more varied, and how he plays at the end. That's why Sabitzer's not playing there. Which I get, I understand it.
This is the issue, Ericsson. You just swap him out for Ericsson, if anything, can
I agree with you.
Already, man. I think you guys are overplaying.
But as we go
by Sunday, let's talk about by Sunday. By Sunday. So
Sunday,
that's 2 extra games for him.
I need Ericsson back in there because, by the way, people talk about Bruno's pass completions, which career-wise is at 78%. Sabitzer was 50% in that game. Against Sevilla. Do you know how bad your passing is at 50%? Do you know how bad it is that none of you mentioned it when you watched the game? That just shows you how Man United fans watch football. You cannot. Repeat that. Wait.
Hold on a minute.
How do you not notice a midfielder whose pass completion is 50%? You notice when Bruno's is 70%. So how do you not notice when Sabitzer?
Let me ask you a question.
Hold on, Saeed. Hold on. Wait. Let me land this point. So in the first half, Ten Hag's idea worked brilliantly. You can't argue with facts. I don't argue with facts. I'm a facts man. Got 2 goals. As the game went on, what I saw was somebody who couldn't have an impact because he's not actually a 10. He's not a creative player like that. He can create on occasion. He will get goals. But I'm looking at this game and I kept seeing him in scenarios with the rest of the front line. And I'm like, you want Bruno there. We would have created more clear-cut opportunities if Bruno is in his actual best position versus Sabitzer. So I get it in the short term. While we're bedding Ericsson back into the team, Ten Hag's in love with this Sabitzer as an advanced forward. You know me, if we're getting results, I'll keep I'll shut up in it.
Do you reckon on Thursday? Do you reckon you see Eriksen just do what Bruno was deep in? Sabitzer back in the 10, and then Casemiro. Casemiro needs to run a games, by the way. He plays off the pace as well.
So you think Bruno's better deeper than Eriksen now?
Oh no! Because Sevilla, Bruno's suspended.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What would you rather go with? Would you rather go more pragmatic with a Fred approach, or would you just put Eriksen in the starting lineup? Hopefully,
it don't matter what I want. I'm just telling you what the manager's doing.
Let me ask you a question though,
and the limitations of it. That's all.
Big up to HK and says Bruno sitting deeper because Bruno is not good in tight spaces. He needs space to operate. I think for me, this is almost like a learning method for Bruno Fernandes to kind of keep the ball. Sorry?
What a garbage comment. They tell me Bruno. This is all I hear. Bruno can't play hair tight spaces. He can't play hair tight spaces. All I hear. People told me he can't play deep tight spaces. Now he can't play 10.
Well, he's learning now, and this is why the manager's trying to, get him in that position. I think for me, what you're seeing, okay, stats, but listen, the eye test will tell you that even Bruno, when he's in that 10 role, gives the ball a lot. You know what I mean? There's no ball retention up front. But what you're seeing, though, from Sabitzer is a more of effective number 10 now. In terms of his runs, in terms of his third man runs, in terms of pressing. It is still Danny, whether you like it or not, it's a bit more effective now. It's true, though. Yes or no? Is it not more effective, though, the way we're playing now, the way we're pressing from the front?
And now it's helping Bruno. So I'll make this clear. The best football Man United have played this season has been with Sancho, Rashford, and Antony as the front three. Bruno's the attacking midfielder, and Casemiro and Eriksen in deep. And on occasion, Fred in there as well. So you're wrong.
No, it's not about being wrong. I get that. But what I'm saying to you right now, in the last how many games we were playing in, and what sometimes you always say to yourself, what isn't broken, don't fix it. You know what I mean? Don't fix it.
But that's because of
now. Go on.
But this is the thing. If you know what it is, yeah, I'm gonna leave you man to it. See, it's like all you people that made me be positive about Weghorst. Cool. I'm gonna leave you man to it.
It's not about being positive, though.
No.
I'm going to be positive.
In the
I'm
long
telling
run,
you, it's working right now.
You're hitting me with ball retention when he's completing. Do you understand? 50%.
I didn't say ball retention.
Yes, you did. Do you understand?
I said to you, you're exaggerating the comment of it's a bit. So it's way more shocking than Bruno Fernandes' ball possession. No. That's what you're exaggerating. You're exaggerating your own point.
Let's be clear. Bruno Fernandes is a better football player than Sabitzer. Pound for pound, he's better than him. So there's no debate to be had here. For you to act as if we're creating more chances than we normally do.
I didn't say that.
Bruno, as an attacking midfielder, or we're more effective. Why? Because we've had 3 decent football matches recently.
No, I'm saying what's working right now and what I'm seeing. Sabitzer, by the way, in terms of his performances, do you not think they've been very good?
Okay, question. Did it work in the second half?
Has he not been very good in that 10 role?
I've already acknowledged, it's working at the moment. The problem is, as the game goes on and develops, you need Bruno there, not Sabitzer. That's literally what I started with.
That's why I started with.
I'm looking at the here and now.
I say to anybody, go back and watch the Sevilla game. If you want, DM me on Twitter. I'll send you a link so you can watch back football matches and watch how the game develops, and you'll see Sabitzer become less effective. Sabitzer plays with one speed, by the way. He plays on instinct. He's a Leipzig boy through and through. That's why his pass completion is depleted to 50%. Yeah? And the fact that no one cares about that, that's why I don't listen to man when they talk about Bruno. Because, do you understand?
Did I at one point put Bruno down, by the way? What you're doing is, hold on a minute, you're backing Bruno so much, that you're tearing another player down. I'm not tearing anyone down, by the way.
I'm not. Listen, I'm
looking at the positives for the team. You're looking at the positive for yourself. That's all.
Forget myself. The manager has fell in love with this new idea, and it's working at the moment, just like Weghorst was working. At some point, it will stop working, and I'm already seeing.
I'll be wrong when we didn't put Fred on the pitch.
I'm already seeing.
That's a bit harsh. Some Weghorst are not on the same level.
I'm already seeing. No, it's not about. That's about the principle that I'm referring to. You see, you're obsessed with the player. I focus on principle.
I'm not.
That's why over time, I'll just beat you over the head with these things. Yeah. So it's very, very simple. In that Sevilla game, you saw over time Sabitzer become less effective for a reason, and you saw Bruno become less effective for a reason. It's because they're not playing in their best positions. Yeah. Once you start advocating for players not being in their best positions, you man carry on and see where that leads us. Carry on.
Personally, I believe that the reason why you're not seeing the better Bruno in terms of ball retention and all of this stuff It's because personally we had Weghorst up top. When Martial's up top, yeah, one, he has definitely better hold up play. Two, he gets into key positions as well for Bruno. And whenever Weghorst is there, just like when Sabitzer was, when Martial came off and Weghorst came on, you saw a way worse Sabitzer.
That's a great point.
And that's because Martial needs to be key up front. And when you have Martial up front, bro, Bruno's a 10 times better player whenever Martial's playing. Whenever Weghorst is there,
I agree.
Weghorst gets abundance of chances as well. Let's not forget that. And this guy misses a lot. Whereas Martial's more composed in these key situations and he scores them. If Bruno's playing with Martial, I'm telling you, Bruno's pass completion is way higher, and it always will be. So it's unfair to now jump on the Bruno thing where his ball retention and his passing hasn't been as great, because the majority of the season he's been playing with Weghorst up top. Whereas the season,
but the point is, Corey, it's been better than Sabitzer's, but Saeed's happy with it because it looks nice.
No, that's what I was gonna say. That's what I was gonna say. Yeah, I was onto this early in the season. Because Eriksen plays a little bit prettier on the ball on the eye. We were saying this even in your as I was recording you, Saeed. Eriksen, just because he looks better on the ball, is he gives away the ball a lot, by the way, because he tries stuff. I'm not so look. Bruno's refined his game and he looks like a better Bruno. Bruno's been fantastic last 3 games. There's not even, let's just take that guy out of the question. It's just that when the first half is done and it doesn't work, the legs start going. What my issue is utilizing players like Fred. Even Scott McTominay on Thursday, if he was available, would have done very, very well in that game to drive the ball forward for us, because we couldn't do it. The lack of power strives through Sabitzer. He should have came off earlier. Obviously, Bruno had to come because he was going to get sent off potentially, and so was Anthony potentially. I would have still kept Anthony on. It's just that for me, so obviously, if we're talking about Sevilla, that game there, they weren't actually good. Let's be honest, they didn't worry us. Even when they got into the box, they didn't really worry us. We done it ourselves. We were our own worst enemies. This is why when I tell people, yes, the European heritage is great and everything, I'm not even afraid to go to Sevilla. Go check Sevilla's away form compared to their home form. We'll have another conversation again. I watch La Liga football. They're not great. They can get out. There's a reason why we could score 2 and it should have been 5. So in this time, it'll probably be best. Remember that home. They're going to attack us. Where are we good at? When we're pragmatic. Can we control the game and go from there? Probably. Look, Sabitzer came in to be a loan fee. He's probably going to be he's a good option to have. He can play anywhere, 10, 6, 8. That's all he is. He's an above average player if we're deep in it. If we're really deep in it. He's that McTominay. He's that McTominay, but way more refined. You know? He's doing everything McTominay should be doing, but obviously McTominay's on his patch. I'm liking look, on a positive note, Anthony's starting to take on players now. Anthony looks like he's finding his feet again. The only player that we have to lack across is now the left-hand side, where we're usually concerned about the right-hand side. It's flipped over now. So now Sancho needs to have a good game. If we want to be having debates, it should be about Sancho now, because we have to have some awkward conversations. Sancho FC, Don't really care. I'm giving him this. I will get into it right now. I'm giving this man a lot of time in my head, and I don't want to get onto him. He's still young, and he's a South London guy. Of course, come on. So on that note, it's like we're gonna have to have awkward conversations moving forward as a Man United team. Have we got too much of the same player, or do we need something different? Because Garnacho for me is no, I don't even want Matoma.
No, not Matoma.
He's gonna cost us an arm and a leg.
You know what?
You know what it is, yeah, Man United, yeah. Man United's scouting isn't bad. It's just our recruiting is awful. You know,
I'd rather have Harvey Barnes.
Oh my word!
I don't want to listen to it. You don't want to listen to it.
Let me cut you off there.
One second.
How is the garbage? Look at Bruno dribbling stats. He can't get away from anyone. Big up HK and again.
I'll come back with that quickly. Dribbling and tight spaces is 2 different things. It's 2 different things, and we can't have an intelligent conversation with super chats. Yeah, man. Talk about all I've heard is Bruno can't play 10 tight spaces, but he can't play central midfield tight spaces. So he's gonna play. So miss me with the tight spaces nonsense. Like wherever he plays, I hear about tight spaces, and yet the guy performs. Was he not man of the match first half?
Probably man of the match in contention last 3 games. Last three games,
potentially man of the match, but this guy wants to talk about tight spaces, whatever. Sabitzer is better in tight spaces. Okay.
Sabitzer can't dribble.
Have you watched Sabitzer? Because Sabitzer dribble?
Not really.
Sabitzer 2-footed though, intelligent. You know what I mean? I like Sabitzer.
Yeah, no, I like the profile of him.
You want to sign him, Saeed? But you want to sign him, innit?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind if you signed him. I think
the thing is, if you get Sabitzer, that means Fred or Scott McTominay's got to go.
Listen, Ten Hag never plays Bruno in the 10. Got to be for a reason. You guys can't tell me you know more than
Bruno. I'm on it. I deal with facts. Bruno, 55% of his appearances have come as a 10. So what you just said is wrong, which is why I don't listen to people like you who can't be objective when watching football. 55% of his games has come as a 10. And he only moves. And here's
what about in the big games though? The big game where we needed him.
Because we're trying to accommodate for other players that can't do their job.
He only moves from the 10 when somebody gets injured. These are the facts that are uncomfortable for people. I can do it. Do you want to go month by month? When Anthony got injured in October, that's when you saw Bruno first play right wing against Villa in the Cup and against Fulham. Who was not there that day? And then what happened in that game? We moved him back to the 10 and we played better and we won the football match, did we not? Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You think Bruno's a long-term approach for United?
Hold on.
You can do it long-term.
Casemiro being suspended, Eriksen's injuries, other him not having a striker that he wants, which is Martial, because when Martial's fit, he plays. This is why Bruno's not playing in this position, because there's problems everywhere. The way that people think intellectually you can get away with using this as a stick to beat him, you won't win. The facts are clear. When everybody's injured, when there's problems elsewhere, Bruno's the Swiss Army knife, actually, because he's actually a better player than most you give him credit for, which is why Ten Hag trusts him everywhere. When everybody's fit and healthy and firing on all cylinders, Bruno know where Bruno Fernandes plays. I don't know why people keep making this nonsense. So it's actually annoying at this point.
I think for me, like I said to you, man, right now I would for me start Sabitzer in further forward. I don't think Eriksen's ready yet, man. I'll be honest with you. He looked a bit all over the place, man. He looked a bit disorientated. I know the game was a different game, but he didn't look 100%. There was a few misplaced passes.
All you got to do is Sevilla, with the way they play with the high fullbacks and stuff. I'm not even going to lie. Rakitic is old. Bro, even Scott McTominay would probably have a very good game. Just get at them and go for the counter-attacks and strive. Yeah. Even Casemiro, Sabitzer, even McTominay midfield would do a lot because Sevilla rely on a lot of like power in their game at the moment. They got a lot of technical, but no pace. I think the most pacey players are either Jesus Navas or Molina down their right-hand side anyways. Nullified that, and you saw what we did in the first half. That can be done again. It's just about decision making in the final third. Even for Martial, I remember there's one he could have gave Sabitzer his hat trick, or Sancho on the overlap. Give the ball.
Who's better in the final third, Sabitzer or Bruno Fernandes?
100% Bruno.
Montiel. My bad, Montiel.
Who's better in the final third, Saeed?
I think if you look at the sample size, obviously Bruno Fernandes, but in terms of, for me right now, what I'm seeing, I would keep Sabitzer in there for now.
You keep Sabitzer in the final third?
I just said who's better.
In the final third, for me right now, as of right now, I want Sabitzer in that 10 role. And in your free,
one sec, you guys then, in your free midfield, everyone's fit. Everyone's fit. Rashford, Martial, get the back line. Who's your midfield free going forward then?
Casemiro,
Eriksen, and Bruno.
It's not hard.
Yeah, of course. That's a different situation. Bruno, of course, in the 10 role.
No. It's not really. If you're playing against
my point is that I'm saying right now, context matters though. And Danny's not listening to context. He's just listening on, you know what, Bruno is a better player. I'm not saying that. I get that. Overall, Bruno Fernandes has probably more to offer than Sabitzer. I understand that. But for me right now, I think Sabitzer does deserve to have a run of games in that 10 role. And I think he's had some good performance.
I agree. In terms of his form, how he's been playing, I don't think he's been playing like amazing. He's got 2 nice goals, yes. But I'd play him there. I'd play him there because I don't think he's defensively like focused as much as Bruno. Bruno understands the midfield role more than Sabitzer, in my personal opinion. And for defensively, especially when we've got defensive problems already, I would play Bruno next to Casemiro, due to the fact that I'm, as much as like we say, oh, you know, Ollie's held Lindelof and Maguire together or whatever. I can't risk those mistakes because sometimes, you know, just remember we've lost against like Sheffield when we've had them. We've shipped goals heavy when we've had these guys. Like I don't really want to take these risks in it, so I'd rather just put somebody there that's more. Even Fred. I'd actually play Fred instead of Sabitzer.
I don't know what's going on with Fred at the minute.
Next to Casemiro and play Bruno up top.
Yeah,
I don't
know what's going on with Fred.
Salute to my man though. I mean, we've gone from Bruno Fernandes being a wayward player that you can't trust in any midfield to people now saying he's better in central midfield.
You know what it is, Danny. You know what it is, Danny. Yeah, I think it's not that he's better in centre midfield. He's just showing what we're missing in central midfield and what we can have.
We've got Sabitzer, who was Leipzig's DM and CM, but Bruno's the better option defensively than somebody who actually played that role for 90% of his career.
But I get that. But you have to also look at, when new evidence comes, when you see Sabitzer performing well in this role, and you then see Bruno Fernandes performing in his role well. Would you not argue that Bruno Fernandes is doing well in this new 8 role? Would you not agree with that one?
I don't argue with facts, unlike some people. What I would say is...
ask the question, though.
What I would say is this. As these games develop, it becomes clear we're missing that chance creation in the final third.
For sure.
And it's bothering me because we should be putting these games to bed. That's why So in that Sevilla game, I saw too many scenarios where I know we create 3-4 more clear opportunities.
You think Bruno's more clinical than Sabitzer?
If our most creative player is there. I mean, it depends what you want to do, Saeed. If you want to be intellectually dishonest and use Bruno's finishing this season, then Sabitzer's more clinical. If you want to go with Bruno's entire football career, then he's obviously way more clinical.
Yeah, I get that. But again,
so it depends I can talk about if you want to be intellectually honest or dishonest, isn't it? It depends, isn't it?
I can talk about Anthony's record at Ajax, but it's not going to correlate to what we're seeing right now.
Actually, it kind of is. Like Anthony's record, he's doing nearly better this season.
It's the same. He scores more goals. He scores more goals than he creates chances.
Yeah, big up, bro. And Corey's got to go, man. Big up to you, Corey, man.
Guys, I've got to go, lads. Yeah, big up yourselves. Big up
running away from the chat. It's too technical, isn't it, for you, Corey? It's calm.
No worries, man.
HK says, I'll be going now. You leave me alone. I'll see you guys.
Big up, Corey, man. Make sure you follow Big Six Band.
Oh, Cass, my bad. Because me and Saeed are having a little battle. We forgot about Sancho, innit?
Yeah, let's talk about Sancho. We're going to talk about Sancho. Everything. Big up to HK said, why are we comparing Bruno and Sabitzer? Both ain't it. And big up to Jazz PN. He says 55% as a 10. Low means that half the time the manager can't trust him to play in his prime position. Stats work against him, not as consistent as a 10. So there, have it as that, man. Do you agree with that, or you think you're going to bring your own stats?
That's about Sabitzer.
Oh, he's talking about Sabitzer. Oh, okay, I thought he was talking about Bruno. Yeah,
that's not about Bruno.
Okay.
Yeah, he's talking about them. I big up him though.
Okay, big up to Jazz Pub, by the way. Apologies for
Bruno's career in that position is like 78%. So 78%, I don't think people understand. If you've seen, if you watch a game and someone completed 50% of the passes and you didn't have a reaction, that shows how you're watching football. You need to start being objective. Anyway, on Sancho, do you know what it is, Cass? Yeah,
go on.
There's not. Listen, when a player doesn't have confidence, intensity, or aggression, there's nothing you can do. Like, there's really nothing to discuss. I don't want to hear about overlapping fullbacks because you saw him mistime his passes for overlaps to Malacia. Yeah. I don't want to hear about somebody to link with. In the first 10 minutes of the game, you saw him link with Martial. There's no excuses. Unfortunately, he's in his pre-season, and I said this to people on my timeline to them, you got Sancho agenda. No, I looked at the situation and said, if he misses 3 months of football, he's going to have another pre-season at the business end of the season. If you think that's a good position for Sancho to be in, you don't love him like I love him. I'll put it that way. I don't like setting players up to fail. I said from day one, once that situation happened, he has an uphill battle to face. Yeah, that's a difficult battle. 3 months off, business end, and you need to be on it. Bear in mind, this guy had a pre-season.
Consistency, though, isn't it? It's consistency. You can't build it up.
They had a pre-season and went downhill. You saw the Chelsea game. So 3 months off, coming back in business end, it's always going to look like this. That's why I got onto you guys last week telling me his performance was amazing. I knew it wasn't an amazing performance. And I knew something like this is around the corner with him. People need to temper expectations. The intensity and aggression, and dare I say the fitness levels, are not there for him to be a consistent performer. So between now and the end of the season, I think we'll see some good performances. I think we'll see some bad performances.
Yeah, he needs about. You know what it is for Sancho though. Like he can't afford to have too many bad performances. Anyways, not for me. And also, when you deep it, obviously, my man don't like him on the right-hand side. He prefers Anthony there. He likes an inverted winger with a different, well, either you're both-footed or you're left-footed. Sancho likes on the left. I'm sorry, but Garnacho is more effective than Sancho on the left, whether we like it or not. When we talk about controlling the game, like he's a technical player, then why he should be controlling the game a lot more, taking it into his strides, maybe. I don't know. Maybe a little bit like how Jack Grealish does it. Except now he's even changing his own game. But I don't know. I don't know who's got patience.
Now he hasn't got that explosive though. He hasn't got that explosive. You know the way
Jack Grealish is faster than Sancho. G, trust me. I know, go watch him. He glides. Even with the ball. Yeah. He's got. If anyone plays FIFA Ultimate Team, if anyone actually got that the card lengthy when you put in a player lengthy, pause by the way. Anyways, all that stuff. You know what I'm talking about. The guy's dusting, bro. You're not catching him. And his balance is going to keep him up. Sancho's got
bad. You're not even seeing the same. It's not Sancho's not the same like full speed Sancho. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
I know this is. But when are we going to see full speed Sancho? That's the question. When? Don't get me wrong. He had a good game against Brentford and he had a good game against Everton, and that's fine. I want to see his best performances against Brentford probably. But I want to see a great game now. He had a great start to the Sevilla game. Let's see you tomorrow when he starts. You more than likely he's going to start. Garnacho isn't back. I think he's reported to training a week and a half. Monday. Not this Monday, the Monday after. I think this is what it is. It's like, I'd rather, for me, look, Ahmad's coming back soon as well. How many pecking orders are there going to be?
And it's a confidence thing. Did you notice? So he messed up that overlap to Malacia. You see his reaction?
And it was done from there. It was done.
Then after that, trying to do cul-de-sac Rashford impersonations. That's not Sancho. Running into cul-de-sacs is not Jadon Sancho. I said this to people with the I said the same thing after the Chelsea game. I said, that's not Sancho, and I had people going at me. You guys don't like that. Yeah, whatever, innit? You lot keep being optimistic, telling me he's going to be this. Other people can say he's a flop. I'm just going to be balanced on it, innit? Like, when you miss 3 months...
You have to wait, innit? Yeah, you have to wait.
You miss 3 months of football, why am I expecting this guy to come back and be our most important player? I'll take what
I think also... I don't think it's kind of expect to see anything. I think he needs to kind of bring it on himself, man. I think it's about him proving to himself that he's still a good player, man. I think he's got to that level now where he needs to prove to himself that he's that Sancho. Like, he's that guy. Like, he's one of the best young talents in the world. Like, you know, he's 23 now. You know what I mean? This is almost like the next development of your career. 20 to 23 is when everyone's like, yo, this guy's next level. 23, 24 to like 25, 26 is when you're like, yo, this is now you looking at like the next development of your game. So, you know what I mean? There's a lot to do with Sancho. Like I said, tomorrow, does he start? He does start tomorrow. Nottingham Forest, away game, crowd on top of you. This is where you got to show it, you know what I mean, and whatnot. So, it's going to be difficult, man. And like I said, does he have it in him to kind of, you know, bring it? So,
and this is where it gets sticky. If Martial stays fit, he ends up on the bench.
Yeah, I know he does.
And he makes a balanced front three as well. If you're being honest, Rashford direct, Marcel, a bit of everything, and then
people like it or not, our best duo since 2018 has been Rashford and Martial. Whether people like it or not, whether you're pro one guy or anti the other guy, those are the facts. We haven't had a better duo than those two.
You think Man United can play better football without Martial? Sorry, Rashford, though. You think United can play better football? There's an argument of people saying, you know, Rashford, yes, he's getting the goals, but his involvement in the game is not as, you know, crazy as what people think.
I'd say beauty's in the eye of the beholder. We can play cuter football, right? But this is the thing, Saeed. It's based on an idea. It's not based on reality. Yeah. So you look at the technical style of Sancho and Martial. Of course, that's more attractive. Of course, that's more precise. Of course, that's cuter. But it's not your reality, is it? You saw it for 5 minutes against Sevilla. I've seen Rashford and Martial link up technically on loads of occasions. So actually, in reality, we play better football with Rashford and Martial. I've actually seen it, and it's looked beautiful. So I know people have erased that from their memories, but you know, you think about that goal against Wolves, the back heel from Rashford for Martial. People act like it's just Martial doing silky stuff for Rashford. Go back and watch their comps. They're doing silky stuff for each other. So yeah, we know what works. Let's be honest. It's just some people, they don't like Rashford's technical, whatever you want to call it, innit? That's all it is.
And this is the thing, though. The manager, you know what I mean? I don't know if he's going to rush Martial back in. If Weghorst is going to start tomorrow, which can be a possibility, you know, because if you look at it, he's played in midweek. Will he start him again? This is another thing here. The reason why last weekend was it Rashford up front, innit? Rashford was up front. So,
yeah.
He probably does start Weghorst tomorrow, which is a bit of a.
Can you afford to? With the results that's just gone on, can you afford to play Weghorst, or do you want a fast start again? Which one do you want?
Well, I don't know. He's not gonna. The way the injuries record are right now, the way the injuries are going right now, I think Ten Hag will be unsure, kind of almost. What's the word I'm looking for?
I don't want to see Weghorst start, man. I can't lie. I don't want to see it. Just put Martial in the game. I get it. There might be the overload or something, and then you might risk. He's got 4 days rest, but then if it's, what do you want? Do you want to bring him off? Bring him on if we're like 0-0 or 1-0 up potentially, or do you play him for another 60 minutes and then bring Weghorst on and go from there? Which one do you want?
I'd rather finish the game with Martial as my striker. Every day.
Yeah. It's not even like.
And I'm not saying playing for an hour. You can sub him at half time like you did against Barcelona, where Weghorst was off at half time at Old Trafford. So yeah, that Sevilla game is what's making me say this. Like, I know we started well.
What did he do?
But the way at this end, like, look at the business end of the season. Look at the Chelsea game. Look at the Tottenham game today. You want your best team on the pitch for the last hour, man. For the last half hour, man.
How many games is he going to play that now? Let's say Rashford is back for Sevilla, which again you don't know what's going to go on. It depends on how
he is. He'll be on the bench.
Yeah. So he's got to start Weghorst somehow because he can't play Martial 3 games in a week. You know what I mean? Like,
it's fine. Start Weghorst against Forest. Just make sure he's off after 50 minutes, and Martial's playing. That's what. It depends how the game is going. If we start Weghorst, then we're 3-0 up.
The best thing is with them, they ain't got active centre backs, Forest. So Weghorst did play well last time out when we did beat them 3. Was it not 3-0? And he got a goal as well in the cup. So it's like Weghorst could be a good option because they're not even active in their fullback. The only active fullback you could say is Williams. Ori is not that active. Yates is not exactly the most agile, but he's still decent enough. Like bit static might help Weghorst out. Anyone that's got a remote bit of what's it called? A bit of mobility would obviously it'd be aggression. It'll be ineffective. And Keylor Navas is another thing. He's a short keeper, man. Why don't you just stick on the corners? You don't win no headers. Just stick them on Navas. Put the ball there, man. Awkward times. Why?
Of course, don't win headers though.
I know that's what I said. Don't just put him on Navas. Just put him on Navas. Navas is like 6 foot. Just be in the way.
Let me ask you a question though. Do you think Ten Hag as well, the substitutions, you know what I mean? Like Newcastle, I felt like for me the substitutions were a bit dodgy. You know, I mean, looking at the game here, Danny, like, do we have to have some accountability of maybe now Ten Hag game management, which at the start of the season was very good. Now I'm starting to see a little bit of like what you doing there? Like, is he not going to be magnified what he does now? Like, we're starting to look at him and say, yo, listen, what you doing here or what you doing there? What you thinking?
Look, man, we're at the business end of the season. Whether people like it or not, what's gone on before this moment is now irrelevant. We are where we are. Between now and the end of the season, he has to get more right than he gets wrong.
Yeah.
He's done that for most of the season, but he has to do that now. And the thing is, when he gets it wrong side, it's usually a howler.
Yeah, it is.
There seems to be no middle ground. It's when he gets it wrong, it's badly wrong. Like, it's really bad tactically when he gets it wrong. So, or at least from a substitution point of view. So I think he just needs to plan better. When we have these sequences of games that are close together, plan better. Just plan. We had that conversation before the Everton game. I told you if Martial plays, he'll get injured. Martial gets injured. People think I'm doing these things after the fact when I criticize Ten Hag on these things. I'm not. In the Reading game, I literally said before the game, it's a mid-table championship team. Someone's going to do some shithousery and injuring Eriksen. Just rest him. He's the one player that I think will get kicked and get injured. And it happened, Saeed. Before this game, I was on my podcast and I was saying to people, Ten Hag has indicated to me that Varane has to be rested. And the reason why I say that is you weren't resting him in the winter. And now coming out of Feb, around March, you started resting Varane inexplicably in games. So we play Leeds, the second game against Leeds.
Play Maguire.
We play Maguire. I think Varane missed one of the... did he miss the second leg against Barcelona or the game after, if I'm not mistaken?
He missed the Real Betis one, didn't he?
But I just noticed after that, you're resting Varane. Why are you resting him? What's going on? You know what I'm saying to you? Then I looked at these fixtures. I'm like, okay, Brighton, Maguire suspended. You can probably get a free hit at home against Sevilla. Start Maguire. then you can play Varane because we got to play Tottenham as well. Like, this
Oh wait, Maguire's suspended against Brighton.
Yes.
Yeah, you didn't know that.
That's why
good then. I'm happy. That makes me more than happy. Lindelof for sure. I can live with that.
That's why I weren't happy with Varane. That's why I weren't happy with Varane starting against Seville, because I looked at it like, hold on, Forest away, then you have to play against Brighton because Maguire's suspended. Then we play Tottenham. When's Varane going to get rested if he plays against Seville? Now he's in. So now he's in. It's out of time. So Ten Hag needs to manage this right from now on. The margins are fine. Every option should be on the table. So you spoke about that game. You have no confidence in Elanga. Let's be honest. He just did a like for like side. Elanga plays left. He took off Sancho, so you just played Elanga. But in reality, he's got no form, no confidence. You haven't trusted him in a while. He's barely played since the turn of the year. Palestri's the one that's confident and fresh. Why don't you bring on Palestri? Why would you take off Martial and Bruno at the same time? You know you can stagger substitutions to disrupt the flow of the game. You know what I'm saying to you? It's just those little things that bothered me. Like, just stagger the subs, disrupt the game if you're going to make that many substitutions. Because we had 4 subs by the 63rd minute.
That's another thing as well. That was a bit baffling for me.
And then now you can't even take Malacia off, who's having a shocker, because of those decisions that have been. Some of them have been forced upon him, so I get it. But like, just the way you start the game impacts other decisions you have to make. If you don't put your best foot forward, when you have to solve problems, you're in a weaker position. That's basically what I'm trying to say. So against Forest, these games, listen, man, we talk about players being paid big money. He's making big money himself. Like, we're at the business end of the season. He has to get his decisions right, innit? Simple. And we expect him to. We've got high standards for him, no?
Yeah.
No, can I add something?
Yeah, go on.
Our away record ain't as bad as people think.
No, it is, you know.
No, it's not as bad. We lost away. Who do we lose to? Give me them. Arsenal, Liverpool, Aston Villa. Record? Yeah, we've only had 6 away losses, and I'll tell you how many we won. We won 6. So on this note,
no, it's context. It's context. I think we're not scoring as freely. I think the games have been very, very tight.
How many draws?
Sorry?
How many draws?
2. Crystal Palace and
Everton.
No, we beat Everton, didn't we?
Newcastle. Who was it? Newcastle.
We lost to Newcastle. We drew to
at home. We drew at home to Newcastle, right?
Yeah, we let me think.
I know we beat Fulham. I know we lost to Villa, lost to Liverpool.
I think my concern away from home is that the football's not been great. I think I don't know. It's very pragmatic. Sorry,
yeah, we beat Leeds, but we drew to somebody away. I can't remember who it was.
We drew to Chelsea.
Chelsea. That was it. Yeah. Chelsea. We drew to Chelsea, but we've lost to Aston Villa, Brentford, Arsenal, Man City, Liverpool, which were heavy defeats. No, not Chelsea. I mean Man City, and there's another one that we lost to somewhere down the line in the top half of the table somewhere.
You know what it is? Those losses though were like bad losses, my brother.
Yeah, I know. But when I'm saying we're going away, I don't think it's as bad as people do think it is, because there are some decent results. Only there was one flaky one which was Southampton, I would say, at the start of the season.
That was a good goal we scored, though.
Leicester, we look comfortable. Who else is there? Everton, we look comfortable. Forest in the cup, we look comfortable. Who else is there that we played away this season that we look quite comfortable?
Yeah,
even Crystal Palace. We still look quite good. And I hear it, but remember, like, we need to put some respect on our name as much as other people's names. We're not as bad as people think when we are away from home. It's just in the bigger games, we are terrible. That's it.
Do you know what it is, though? Like, I'll put respect on our name at Old Trafford. Away from home.
Yeah. You never know what you're going to get.
Most decent teams should be winning their home games. So it kind of makes sense. Do you know what I mean? Like, having a over 50% away record in the Premier League is not easy. It's not easy. And when you look at the way we've been doing a marathon, it's been tiring as a Man United fan. The amount of games we have to watch, I don't think people realise.
I said that, you know.
I haven't had time to watch other teams because we play so much. Like, I only get to watch Champions League football on a Tuesday and Wednesday when it's on. That's it. You know? But yeah, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying, Cass. I get it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like Forest have not won in 9 games, 9 league games.
Their home form is not bad though. Their home form is not bad.
Go look at their home form. I can tell you a couple of their results. It's not bad, but this team that, even without Maguire, I mean, even without Varane and matey Lissandro, obviously. That team, if we're being honest, we should still dominate the game and we should still go and win that game. That's it.
Forest,
that's it.
Forest, Seville, Brighton, Tottenham. Where's the turbulence? There's going to be turbulence somewhere. Where is it?
I think it might even be at home to Aston Villa, like a draw or something.
Bro,
I'm saying those 4 games. That Villa's after those 4.
Oh wait, go on. Where's the turbulence? I don't think it's Forest. I don't think it's tomorrow. Sevilla. I think it's Brighton
in the cup. FA Cup.
Yeah, because the lack of options. Even Mark Maguire. Yeah, I want Sean Lindelof because I think they're more agile, especially the way Brighton play. But when you look towards your bench, sticky times, and it's like that's just an occurrence where.
And we don't score enough goals, man. We don't score enough goals for me.
But can Brighton rise to the occasion? That's another part. Like
that's a different story.
We're good in the cups. We've done it this season. I think the players will be up for it like they would. But it's a one-off. It's not. But then we got Brighton again away this time. That's what I think. There's a bit more turbulence. I don't think we go and win there. I'll be real. Regardless if Varane's back.
Oh, I'd love to slap these hipsters that everyone's in love with. Oh, I'd love to slap Brighton.
Yeah.
Now I think ultimately my situation is the goals, the lack of goals without Rashford. I think Anthony needs to score more. Sancho is scoring goals. Martial's record actually is not bad, you know. Actually, his actual goal to game ratio is very good. I don't know if you've seen it.
I've seen it. Yeah, every 88 minutes or something like that, or something.
Well, it's better now if he scored. He scored he didn't score actually. No, he didn't score. I don't know why.
No, he got an assist. He got an assist and he came off his 60 minutes.
Yeah, so a goal and an assist every other game, which is a good thing. So that's where I think it's well there. Big up Indiana. He says here lack of goals with Rashford. Yeah, exactly. Goals with Rashford as well. This is the thing.
Wait, is that Indiana from Spaces?
Yeah. Big up Indiana, man.
Yeah.
Man, no.
This guy's funny.
But you know what it is though, Danny? What is it down to? Is it down to the tactic? Is it down to the way we are? We don't. Obviously, Everton could have been 6-0. The manager, he cannot prepare for that. We're wasting chances. But away from home, though, it's a different story. Like we don't create much, man. Away from home as well.
What's complicated, man?
Is it the football? Is it the way we're playing? Like, is it? Be honest. Is it the fact that we're a bit pragmatic?
It's at Old Trafford. It would seem that teams are less aggressive.
Yeah,
and I've said this before. If you're even a little bit passive against Ten Hag football, will kill you. Even with these players, even year one Ten Hag, I was never worried about Ten Hag's football working against mid blocks or passive teams. Never had any stress. I was worried about the big games. I was worried about the big matches, and I was worried about high pressing teams. That's all I've been concerned about because I know Ten Hag's football. Away from home, teams are naturally more aggressive. It's not 2002. Teams don't just give you the low block. You have to earn it. And when you go away from home, you have to earn the right to play football. And we haven't been earning the right to play football. That's what it comes down to.
All you can take positives is the last 3 games you play good football. That's it. And I get it. They've all been at home.
At home.
Yeah, that's all we can go into. But even at home, before we're playing awful. It's that now we're trying to play again. That's only positive we can take probably into tomorrow. Are we going to try and play the game?
I tell you this though, like I keep saying this to people, you're going to be surprised. Luke Shaw with Lindelof or Maguire, we will build play well. I'm telling people now.
No, I agree. I don't think Lindelof's been bad this season. I don't think Lindelof's been bad this season, to be honest with you.
Only one way was backing off.
Lindelof's been good this season. I don't like him. I don't like him.
Yeah, he's had one poor performance where he was just backing off, and that was it.
I think he's soft. I think he's passive. I don't think he's proactive enough with the ball. But defensively, his performances have been good. I can't fault him. And on the ball, he's just neat and tidy and he don't do nothing. But he has the talent to do what Martinez does, by the way. Don't get it twisted. He's just not the mindset to. That's all it is with him.
Yeah, I remember that man what he's doing back at Benfica. Guys, he was a madman.
Even for us, every now and again.
Free kicks as well.
You see that long pass from him. You're like, my brother, you can do that more. You can do that more. You just don't want to. Because you'd rather not make a mistake so Maguire takes a headline for something. That's the way Lindelof plays football. Annoying.
That's the problem. Guys, there's over 600 of you in the chat. Please like the video. If you're watching right now and you haven't hit the like button, please do so now. Let's get the team for the game. David De Gea, listen, he's in goal now. Wan-Bissaka or Dalot. I think for me, Wan-Bissaka keeps his spot, man. I don't know what you guys think, especially.
I think you're gonna have to with the lack of centre back options now. I think Wan-Bissaka is more important than ever.
Yeah, especially the way we're defending as well, man. But I think Dalot, even to be fair, if he was even doing that, he'd play. You know what I mean, whatnot. Europa League, man, which is quite, you know what I mean, unusual. I thought he would have played Europa League, to be honest with you.
Yeah, maybe, but Wan-Bissaka had a good game though. To be fair.
Yeah, he did. He did. Does Shaw come back? Do you reckon Shaw will be back? I think he'll be back.
I don't think he was starting, but I know he would have. I know he would give him some minutes.
See, we'll see what.
He's only had a week out. He's only had a week out, hasn't he? Roughly since what game did he come off against? Was it Brentford? He came off?
Do you reckon he'll be back?
When did we play Brentford or did we play Everton afterwards? It was Everton. That was our last home game, wasn't it?
Yeah, Everton.
Before Sevilla. Yeah, so he came off against Brentford, didn't he?
Brentford, yeah, it was Brentford. It wasn't Everton.
So he's came off. So he's had a bit of rest. He ain't lost too much fitness if he's been in training. So I don't think you start him though. I think it's too risky.
I think he's rushing him back. I think he's got no.
I think you have to play Malacia through that game, rectify that performance.
No, Malacia will be there, but I'm talking about left-sided centre back.
No, he's definitely. I think he's been on about Lindelof and Maguire. I think he's just going to give him the games.
What do you think?
You're going to need
it. Luke Shaw rushing back from injury is not a good idea.
Okay.
When Luke Shaw's not even a little bit tired, you see elements of his flaws pop back up. Luke Shaw's somebody you want firing on all cylinders, isn't it? It's up to the manager, man. I'm not.
Let's go with the two. Anyway.
I'm more concerned about Malacia and his form, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
that's more of a concern for me than say, the Lindelof Maguire.
Malacia is coming against Brennan Johnson.
I know. I was gonna say, Brennan Johnson. I'm worried about that guy against Malacia. He plays on the right, doesn't he?
And the worst part is, this is what I'm saying. Do you stick Lindelof on the left?
Lindelof's gonna play left centre back. Maguire don't play there no more.
Yeah. I think so as well. He turns like a bus, bro. You can't have that against Brennan Johnson.
And last time Gibbs was giving Casemiro a lot of problems.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, and it's in exact same kind of type of game where Casemiro's just come back couple games. Or he's only had a couple games or some crap, and then he's trying to get back to. And there he is. Yeah.
Midfield, obviously Casemiro will be there, so it's about choosing the next one. Do we go with Sabitzer in the 8, or do you go with Eriksen back?
I'm gonna throw another name. I think he might put Fred in there, but I don't know if Fred's been injured.
Nah, no chance. Fred's out of the team. He's done something. He's not really feeling him anymore. Or McTominay might go in there. McTominay.
Nah, listen,
I wouldn't put him.
Play the same team against that we had for the last few games, or you put Eriksen in there, innit? There's no need for a Fred or McTominay unless the game isn't going how we want it to go, in it. I'd put Sabitzer back in central midfield, innit? Like Bruno's been putting in man of the match performances, but bro, just play your best players in their natural positions. Sabitzer's not an attacking midfielder. I don't know why people are forcing it. He's a central.
I think he's a hybrid, isn't it? He's a hybrid player. He's a hybrid.
No, but now we've got
box to box.
But now we've got Casemiro. Just play Sabitzer there. For me, innit?
You can get away with that, though. You can get away with that. He can make the third man run, so he might run off.
It depends how much we dominate the game.
But when Bruno mentally regresses back into what he actually is, which is an attacking midfielder, I don't want to hear no complaints from nobody. I don't want to hear no complaints. He's been good the last 3 games.
He has a good game there, man. Because I think for me, Sabitzer did deserve to have one more game there. But because Casemiro's back, let's see this dynamic. Let's see if it actually works.
You know what it is as well? Bruno's better in recovery from high positions. He's not as good from when he's already deep, trying to confront people. Sabitzer is a beast off the ball. The guy sniffs out everything. So when you have Casemiro protecting those two, Linda and Maggie, the odd couple, you've got Casemiro protecting them. Sabitzer's the one you want buzzing around Casemiro, not Bruno.
I'll be honest, I don't even like 4-2-3-1. I like 4-3-3. I prefer.
Well, you don't play 4-2-3-1 anyway. He's going to play.
Yeah, I know. It's a 4-3-3. Bruno's the 8. We can't play back to goal. Bruno Fernandes, not his way. He's always, when he receives the ball now, look, his body position is different. So when he receives in a half turn, you can actually see what's in forward in him, and that's when he gets those balls to Anthony and so forth. When he wants to do what he does.
Oh,
but yeah, man,
the stuff we saw in tight spaces that he can't do apparently. That stuff.
Bruno Fernandes, I don't know. He can receive in tight space. He's just his dribble. his dribbling's decent enough, but yeah, it is what it is, man. And I think the front three picks itself, but I think he goes with Veghorst then.
The front three picks itself.
I
think he goes with. I do think he goes with Veghorst as well.
Let's give them a half each, innit? And then if you can see the game out a little bit, even if it's till half time, just for Martial to come on, then so be it, man.
Yeah.
Weggy.
I want to see the same thing he done last time, though. I want to see Veghorst a bit more closer to Anthony and maybe gets a little bit more closer to Sancho in that form. Because last time he played Veghorst as Anthony, that was causing him so much problems because their other DM, who is it? Is it Decore? No, not Decore. It was Kuyate or something like that. Unless he's going to play him at centre back. Like it was issues. Williams can't handle.
What it is actually.
Williams can't handle it.
If you're playing Weghorst, you know what? Forget it.
It's no point doing that little.
Yeah.
It's just there, and he's there, man. And it is
what
it is.
Fingers crossed and hope for the best in it. Because
it's got hope for the best. Let's see what happens. Let's see what he does in there. But listen, that's the team. Tomorrow predictions. Kaz, what are you saying?
We'll go 2-0. Man United. I don't think they score. I think this is what gets Steve Cooper the sack as well. His job's on the line.
Okay.
And once one goal goes in, the players might just drop their heads for the manager anyways.
Yeah, absolutely. Danny, what are you saying?
I think 2-1. I think they score first. Like a ricochet or something annoying like that. But then we come back to win it. That's what I think will happen.
Same. I'm going for 2-1 as well. I think it'll be a tight game, nervy game, but United will nick it in the end. That's what I'm going for. Let me know your predictions in the chat before we wrap up. Big up to everybody who's here.
No, if Rashford miraculously is in the team, I think we slap him. But
Oh yeah, bro.
Yeah. Or do you go Marcel? Maybe Marcel plays 70 minutes instead. Not 60 this time. 70.
Yeah, no, bench. We got
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday turnaround's different, innit?
You're right. You know what? You're right. You'd want to put a less load more than a heavy load, innit?
Yeah. Away says 1-1, 2-0, 2-1. Nessie says 1-1, 3-1. Compulsive. Paul says 2-1 United. 3-0 says Abdi. And 0-0 says Munches. But listen, people, we will be there. We will be there tomorrow, 4:30 kickoff. Watch along tomorrow, 4:30. Make sure you're there. I'll be live at 3:30 for all the team news and build up toward the game. And yeah, man, it's going to be a big game, man. Big up to Kaz for tuning in, man. Big up to you, bro.
Yeah, big up, man. Anytime. Don't mind. It's good to talk some Man United stuff, even though they're annoying at the moment. Tomorrow's big, man. 3 points and an extra game against Tottenham, and got to play Tottenham.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Absolutely. Danny, it's been a pleasure. Big up to you.
Yeah, no, I've enjoyed it. I like annoying you, man. I'll be honest with you.
It's all right, man. It's all right, man. Don't worry.
I like annoying you. I like poking the bears, they say. But no, good stream. And yeah, I just want 3 points tomorrow. I actually don't care how it looks either.
Same.
Just get done, innit?
I don't care how aesthetics. I'm more about substance. Give me my 3 points, please. Simple.
I'm like that for the rest of the season now, me. I don't care how we play. I just want the 3 points. I want to go through. I want to win this. I want to win that. I don't care. Like right now.
All I care about is better build-up play. Anything else I don't care about.
And better finishing, man. Better finishing when it matters.
Better finishing, but that comes with winning, though. Better finishing comes with winning.
No, I could see Anthony. We talk about Anthony being good at the one thing. He's been getting them chances. He could have had about 3-4 goals in his last 2 games. Let's be real.
He should have squared that one when he hit the post, though.
Yeah, I thought so as well. This is what I'm saying. See, Sancho, as much as he had that bad game, there was a lot of space for that man in the early stages of the game where he could just receive it back post and it's a tap in.
Do you know what I need to see? Workhorse feet look quicker in the early part of the season. Yeah, I need those quick feet to return because in that chance for Malacia, if he sorted out his feet, he gives it to Elanga. You go 3-0 up.
Yeah, facts.
So hopefully we see Workhorse have another performance like he did against Forest in the Cup, where he was pretty good, to be fair to him. But
bring Eric Bailly back.
On that note, we're out.
I had a man tell me that in the space yesterday. I'm not even joking.
Listen, people, catch you tomorrow on the watch along. We're out.